Elaine here from MRE Studio Designs, and today I'm going to make a veneer. I have a bunch of reds left over, small pieces, uh, black for the backing, and these are all Sculpey Primo. I have a piece of gold foil here, and some red glitter, some black acrylic paint, my craft knife, tissue blade, and roller, and of course my pasta machine. So I'm going to get everything together and I will be right back. Okay, so I have these little leftover pieces of Sculpey Primo, a little piece of a cane that was left over, and they have been sitting around for a while, so they are not conditioned very well. But we don't want them conditioned very well. So we're just going to take each one separately and chop it up with our tissue blade. Helps if it's the right side down. And we're just chopping these. We don't want them too small. So we're going to keep this one a little bit larger. Put those on the side for now. We'll take this one, chop it up as well. Not quite sure how this is going to look. I'm kind of thinking it'll probably be like a red howlite, but we'll see. I think this one I want chopped a little bit smaller. Put that on the side. And then we have this one. Or it may not look like any kind of stone at all, just a fantasy stone, but we'll see. Now this one with the yellow in it, I think I want that chopped pretty small. So I don't want big pieces of yellow, just want a little bit. Okay, so I need to get a piece of paper so that my desk doesn't get all messy, which it usually does anyway. And we're going to put everything on the paper. I'm going to start with the dark red. I'm going to separate these as best we can. And to that, I think we're going to add the lighter red. Spreading them out. And a little bit lighter. Okay, so after that, now we're going to add the lighter colors. Just all over the place, random. Trying to keep them separate. And finally, the red and the yellow. You just want to separate and kind of evenly distribute. course, we're going to mix them all up. All right. Now on top of this, and this is just my own preference, I'm going to throw some glitter in here. Not a lot. So I have some nice red glitter. I kind of put that all over. Again, just mix that up. The glitter, you can use glitter, you can use mica powder. You don't have to use any at all if you don't want to. Kind of separates the pieces, which is good, so it mixes well. And we're not done yet either. Now we're going to put some of the gold leaf on there. And we're just going to put it right down on top of there and press it down. And mix it in. That's starting to look pretty. So now we have all our inclusions. Now comes the fun part. I have to go get some gloves, and we're going to put the paint on there. So give me a second, I will be right back. Okay, so I have my gloves on now. So we're going to take some paint, shake it up a little bit. I've had this paint for a really long time. And we're just going to put some on here. Okay. Now, if you don't want to do gloves and you just want to mix it, you could use chopsticks, you could use a dowel, you could use a paintbrush if you wanted to. Use whatever you like. We're going to get them all covered. Or as best as we can. And then we're going to have to wait for these to dry. So we're going to separate them so that they can dry. Maybe I'll put them on a different piece of paper. I have to take these gloves off. Okay, so now we have to wait for these to dry a bit. And when they are dry, I will come back. Okay, so we're back. It's mostly dry. It's still a little tacky, but that's not a bad thing because it'll help hold it together. So we're just going to gather everything up. And start mushing it into some kind of order. So let's start pushing everything together. We're just going to keep pushing it together until it gets to be solid. And we're going to make it into a block. So we'll get rid of this. piece so we don't mess up the desk. And we're going to start getting it squared up. You can use your hand, or you can use an acrylic piece, or whatever you want. I'm good with just doing it by hand. Doesn't have to be a perfect block. Just so it's something you can take some slices off of. Okay. And one of the things I want to do is I'm going to take some cotton rounds and put some alcohol on them, and I'm going to take off the paint on the outside as much as I can, because I don't want to have black straight lines when I put my pieces together. So we're just going to get off what we can. You don't have to take all of it off, but just some of it. It's actually looking pretty good. Okay, that should do. Now, usually I would let this sit for a while, but I do want to show you what it looks like. So we're going to take our gloves off, get our blade, and take a couple of slices off of this. And there we go. Can you see that? Looks pretty good. Yeah. So that's our piece. Now I have the black rolled out to number 3, and we're going to start placing them on here. Now you can either make a veneer out of it, or you can make a cabochon out of it, whatever you like. If you have a little spot where you need a little extra, you just break off a little piece and put it right in there. We're going to do one more slice, and we will save the rest for cabochons. So we'll put this on the side, this way, cut this off. Bring this over here and get a piece of paper, and we start to burnish. And it's very lumpy right now, and we want to try to get it as flat as possible. I made those slices a little thicker than I should have. So we're gonna take this off here. I think we're going to run this through our pasta machine on our thickest setting. I'll be right back. And there we go. So we're all ready to make some pieces. So this was a quick tutorial on how to make a stone looking veneer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you will like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.